What's going on, guys? Mark here with Reaper Gaming. Today we're going to do an unboxing of the Viotek curved gaming monitor, the GN27C. This is a 27-inch gaming monitor. You can find this on Newegg. I got this one off of Amazon myself personally for about $250. Now, I stumbled upon this by accident. I was looking up curved monitors. I've wanted one. 4K is not really something that's interesting me at this moment until full support is, implemented of everything. But I was looking at gaming monitors. I found the MSI variation of this. Found out that MSI was just rebranding Viotek's. Looked at reviews, pretty good reviews. A couple oddball things, here and there that people had, just standard stuff with, technology in general. Obviously, there is going to be a production failure percentage, whether it's 1%, 2%, whatever. There are going to be some bad apples out there. Hopefully, fingers crossed coming into this that I don't have a bad apple, but we shall see. But this is a 27-inch curved 1080p monitor. I guess it uses a Samsung screen itself. But the thing that attracted me to this over anything else was the simple fact that it is utilizing it's got a 144 hertz refresh rate. And this is supposed to be specifically geared towards first-person shooter and real-time strategy games here. So I play a lot of first-person shooters. 4 millisecond gray to gray. So not too bad. It could have been a little bit better. 1 second obviously, but 4 millisecond I should not notice at all. I am upgrading to this from a couple old Dell monitors, so it should be a huge improvement. The size, I'm going from like a 21.5 inch to a 27 inch, and hopefully it fits in my little cubby here. But enough talk. Let's get this thing opened up. Let's see what it looks like. And like I said, fingers crossed. It came in through shipping pretty good. I did get it through Amazon. I did the one-day shipping to get it. Like I said, I shopped around. The price for a 4K monitor that I would utilize with the refresh rate that I want, I'm not willing to spend that kind of money on. Before we pull it out, let's take a look at least the box. So dual link DVI. It is curved. It has an HDMI 1.4, DisplayPort 1.2, widescreen 16:9, and then this is 20 million to 1 aspect ratio. It comes with HDMI cable, user manual, power cable, and then a monitor itself. Backside, well, technically this may be the front side here, but as you guys can see, 144 hertz refresh rate. Low blue light. They say it does have a nice blue light aspect for, if you're doing your 16-hour game, it helps your eyes. Now, the blue is something that some people have complained about. Hopefully it's not that noticeable. And this is a Freesync enabled monitor as well. The curve is an 1800 radius curve, so hopefully we can pull this thing out. Bear with me, guys, as I try and pull everything out here. So we're going to first pull out the stands, and what I liked about it is that it's going to match my color aspect of everything. It should be the red and black set up for everything. So first things first, let's pull out the stand. Let's get the stand together, check it out. So here's the stand. Not bad plastic. You can tell it's a plastic. It's not a high gloss or anything like that. Let's see, which way does that snap in? Snaps in that way. Now these definitely get screwed down, so we're going to see what we can do screw-wise here. I don't think I have a screwdriver. I do. I think I do have a screwdriver set up. So let's get that out. We're going to toss the box to the bed. Instruction booklet with the screws. So let's go see what we have here going on. Now it does come with a nice little clip to go over, I'm thinking maybe the back of the base. But first off, let's get it screwed together. That way I know everything's there. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total screws. Is it in here? I had a little screwdriver. It is. I've got a little Phillips. Hopefully this works. The base bar itself is metal, so it should distribute and hold the weight, no issue. Overall quality of this feels relatively good. I mean, no complaints from me. I do apologize if you hear the kids fighting in the background. If you guys have kids, you know how it is. They fight. Never ends. But let's get this all screwed together. I may fast forward through this part for you guys. I mean, you know, because I got the camera sitting over here. It'll be facing the monitor. But we may fast forward through the screw part just to make sure everything's done and taken care of correctly. The base plate, I am looking at that. You know, if I go over everything in my mind here, looks like it should screw into the back or clip into the back panel here of the mount. That way the screws and everything are flush and nothing is, you know, visible. As low profile as possible. So 3 screws into the base mounting bracket, which kind of, you know, makes sense. You're going to want it to be securely snug there. Now they do have a lock washer plus a normal washer onto the screw platform itself. So base mounting bracket, all said and done. The back, we have the cover. That's what that little plastic cover is going to be for. So let's get it all set up and ready to go. Put that over here, put that over here. We'll get the extra screws and the plate off to the side. That way I don't lose them. Take a look at the instructions real quick, see if there's anything fancy. Nice little instruction book. Goes over all the ins and outs, everything that you can think of here. How to go through the menus. I'm not really a huge instruction book kind of guy. So let us see. Power cable. Let's pop that bad boy open. Standard power cable. You got your, see if we can catch it in the light, 3-prong. I'm sure you guys will see it. Normal 3-prong power outlet. And then, of course, the supplied HDMI cable. I'm not sure what I'm going to run this one with just yet. I mean, I've got an RX 480, so I've got the option for DisplayPort. I've got the DVI dual link. I've got HDMI. I've got options for it all. So let's get to the money. Fingers crossed, guys. Hopefully this wasn't damaged in shipping. Shipping container. The box was pretty decent from Amazon. So I'm going to slide this off to the back. I'll throw this up here. Let's see. I don't want to drop it. So far, so good. Protective film. I'm gonna leave the protective film on it. We're gonna flip this around so you guys can see the back. So it's got some nice little accents there. There's your mounting bracket right dead center. Viotek logo. And then there's your port. So there's a lot of room for everything. Display port, DVI, HDMI, and then your power's on the other side. So like I said, I'm gonna leave the plastic on it while I lay this down. Then I'll screw the mounting bracket to it. And we'll get it stood up. Before I do that, just so you guys can see, I don't know if you've seen it, all your buttons are on the bottom here, right hand side of the monitor. Button wise, I'm not a fan of the little plastic things like that. It's literally a round area with a long thin plastic strip that causes it to flex. They're not my favorite when it comes to durability because they will break if they're not done correctly. Hopefully my stubby screwdriver that I just had happen laying around will pull up and work correctly. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. So let's get this all snugged in, tightened down. One more screw. Now, a little tip, guys, because I struggle with this. And now that I have it in my hands, keep in mind, this isn't like TVs. You're not 13 foot away or 8 foot away or wherever. A 27-inch monitor is a big monitor. It's, especially when you're only, you know, in my case, I may be a foot or two away from it when I have them on my stand and everything's set up. So I'm not too far away from it. It is not like a huge gap or anything like that that you're trying to fill, which is nice with the other ones. With see, that backwards, or is it just not like me? It may not like me. Let's flip it around just to make sure. Alright, so top first, then bottom. And it slipped out again. Give me 1 second, guys. There's a little notch that goes in up top, it looks like, that you got to catch just right, maybe. Let's stand this up. And let's see. Nope. There we go. So the bottom first, maybe. There we go. Alright, so 27 inch. Pull the little protective screen off. So at this moment, I don't see any dings, no dents, no scratches, nothing to be too concerned about. It does pivot up and down. Down's okay. I mean, for as close as I'm going to be, up is pretty good, but it does give you your pivot. It doesn't look like it's a high gloss or reflective screen at all. Give you an idea, see if we can get the curve. So there's the curve. Pretty sturdy on the base. The nice metal base does help it keep it stable. You know, so far so good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the old monitor I have sitting in front of me here. We're going to put this in its place. I'll turn it on. We'll see if we can get some video of the monitor itself. So we'll be back as soon as we can, guys. Alright guys, so I do apologize for the setup here for the GoPro. I've got the monitor set up. I do have it set up with a display port adapter. And this is going through my RX 480. Now, I did notice a couple things that I did not like about this monitor when I was setting it up. As of right now, I have the AMD FreeSync off. You know, if we're doing virtual super resolutions here, I was able to force it over into 1440p, no issue. It looked pretty decent, not too bad. In 1080p on the desktop, it's kind of eh. If you have a pure white background, let me see if I can do this. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's bring back. So if you have a whitish background, I don't know if the video is going to pick this up. I do see some darkness. There's a slant going from here to here and here to here, almost about this wide. So about that wide right in there. So there is a little dark spot, and this is on a pure white background, super bright. Now it doesn't affect gameplay, but I also work off this monitor as well, and it is a little aggravating, but I do tone it down, the brightness down a little bit, so it's not as bad. But that is one of the downfalls that I dislike so far about that. So what I am going to do is let's go start up a game. We're going to do the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard demo. One of the newer games. The games on this monitor look absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. So far no complaints, even in 1080p, and 27 inches is sort of big to be pushing 1080p. So it's definitely, if you're up on it, if you're really close, if you're really tight, you will notice a difference here. But I don't think it hasn't been game breaking. Honestly, it looks better than what I thought it was going to look. So let's go make sure. Graphics, yeah, okay, where are we at? 1920 by 1080. Now this monitor is capable up to 144 Hz refresh rate, which is nice. Field of view, VSync is on, rendering method, texture quality, everything else is pretty much very high. I turn motion blur off. I hate motion blur in games. And with the motion blur off, it is a little more graphic intensive, just because it's trying to keep everything crisp and clean the whole way through instead of, you know, blurring it and not rendering it fully there. So everything is pretty much, you know, on maximum for this thing. And like I said, I'm running an RX 480. So, I mean, overall quality visually for gaming, it's pretty good. Hopefully I can skip out some of the dumb stuff here. But just to give you an idea of what it looks for. Because I didn't buy this to work. I bought this the game. So let's see. In-game, the pixelation's not as noticeable. When you're on like a PS4, and the PS4 doesn't have the power to actually push through the higher detail graphics, then it gets noticeable. No, see, I haven't played this one much. So that's just, we're just going to walk around, give you guys an idea of, you know, graphically how it looks, how it reacts. I have to open the door. So for PC, I like it. I think it's well worth the money. It was about a $250 price point. It definitely does what I needed to do. The curve I thought was going to throw me off. At first, the first 5 minutes using it, it was a little odd. I'm not going to lie, it was a little odd. Now I don't think I could play without it. It definitely helps out in the long run here. Bolt cutters, yes. Now, let's see if it's not going to let us out, I know that much. So, I mean, it picks up, it changes, you know, everything is good. It's supposed to have a 4 millisecond gray to gray, which isn't bad. Input lag, from what I've been told that people were able to test about, I think they said at maximum that they've seen is about 9 millisecond input lag, which is pretty reasonable, I think. Especially, I know for gaming monitors, you want anything under 10. Now, I'm not certain on the input lag. Like I said, this is just what I've seen people read. I can't test it on my end. I have verified that with AMD FreeSync on, my monitor is registering anywhere from 73 to 144. No issues there. I am not a huge fan of the FreeSync stuff, just because I don't like the way it looks when FreeSync is on, but that's just me. Now, like I said, graphically, I don't mind it. So this gives you an idea graphically what the game looks like. So we'll just pause it for now. We're gonna pull up the menu here, get you guys an idea of the menu features. Hopefully, you guys can see the menu features. So we got brightness, contrast, DCR. I think DCR, what all that does is just it's a dynamic contrast ratio, and it kind of just readjust it based off of what's on the image. There we got mode. You're gonna have standard, movie, first person shooter, RTS, which I think is real-time strategy. Then you have your eye saver, which kind of like greens everything out. I bought this specifically for the shooters, just for the refresh rate and everything there. Now let's go back. Oh, it's switched off. Now this has been the big killer for the screen. I accidentally hit the power button, and what you're going to notice is if you hit the power button, it desyncs from your computer. So this monitor's not there, and that's going to come into the other issue here that I found with this. We'll go through the rest of these settings. So we got cool, warm, user settings, you know, for your color temps. Your aspect ratio, you can auto 16:9, 4:3. Input, I'm not going to do this yet because this is where our issue is going to come from. Let's go to the next one here. Adjust. You get your gamma, your auto adjust, and everything based off of what input and everything else you're doing. And then others, so you do have the option to turn on your FreeSync on the monitor side here. You can overdrive this, that way you can get the higher sets. Your reset, your power off, I think it's set, you can do it for a minute. After a minute, the auto power's off. And then your language, all your other basic options here. Now, one of the happy coincidences that I did find that I didn't know was on this monitor when I bought it, is if you hit the left arrow, it brings up, let me see if I can get that out of the way. I hope you guys can see that. It brings up a crosshair on the screen and you can cycle it. There's two sets. There's the first set we just seen, this is the second set, and then 2 color each set. So you can actually change red, green between the two. So if you're doing a shooter and you want an on-screen crosshair for the hip fire, it's there. I didn't know it was there. I went to go hit the menu button, accidentally hit the wrong button, and it popped up. Kind of a, a happy little coincidence. But the option is there to use. The other issue that I came across that I wasn't too thrilled with, and this has been the big killer so far. So I have the PC hooked into the DisplayPort 2, into my DisplayPort there. And then I have the PS4 hooked into the HDMI port. Now what the issue becomes is, say you go to change. So here's where you change. The right button will change your mode. So, we'll be in a first person shooter mode most of the time. Alright, so what we're going to do is change inputs here. And this is where my issue comes down at. This is the big, I think this is the big killer. It aggravates the crap out of me. So right now we're on DisplayPort. We're going to go to HDMI, which is the PS4. Now, PS4 on here, it looks good compared to what I was using, my older monitor. This looks phenomenal, no complaints. It's, like I said, definitely worth the money so far. And we'll even, I'll get Battlefield started. Here, we'll actually go to, I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare will load up faster just because we don't have to wait for the super long load times. While this is loading up, here's where your issue comes in. Say you're done playing PS4 and you want to go back to PC. We'll go back to the DisplayPort. It does not load back to the DisplayPort. I don't know if it just times out, it doesn't sync, or what's going on. I haven't found a solution yet for this, other than shutting off the PS4 and going back to PC that way. Now I've tried this with HDMI to DVI wires as well, because I think this has a dual link DVI into it, and it still does it. So I'm not sure. The only way I've gotten to fix that so far is to actually shut the PS4 off to go. So right now we'll just hop into campaign real quick so you guys can get an idea. And then we'll do mission, select. Actually, we got arcade mode, crew expendable. Which one's going to be the best? Let's get something right in the middle of everything. We're just going to do regular. Turn on a crosshair here. I prefer the green one. That way you guys can get an idea of how this works. Now obviously PS4 is not running at 144 Hertz. The monitor is fully capable of doing it, but I'm gonna at least, we'll load this up and let you guys see how the shooters on console work. But yes, console will work. You can use it on the Xbox One, PS4, anything with an HDMI input, anything with a display input, or the dual link DVI as well. No speakers though. You're gonna need a headset, which most of us have anyways, or something along that line. So, like I said, I don't know, I'm running a GoPro to record this, so we're at 1080p 30 on the GoPro. So, I mean, I don't know how accurate the GoPro is going to pick everything up. Hopefully, it's smooth, but I don't know what Modern Warfare is running on the PS4 either. So, to give you an idea, your hip fires and everything will be pretty much based on the accuracy and the movement of your gun. So we'll run some hip fire action here, hopefully. Give you an idea of the crosshair. Alright, here we go. Overall, visually, like I said, I don't think I have any issues with it visually so far. So let's see, that's one of our guys. Okay, let's go roll around the corner, find me some bad guys. So hip fire, so we'll go right here. So I mean, you obviously get a spread off of your guns, but the hip fire, if you had the hip fire or you're trying to do a no scope or quick scope and you wanted to practice, this is the best way to do it. I don't know if you would consider this cheating. I would personally consider this cheating. It's a nice feature to have, but is it worth it if you're just looking for an on-point cross or an on-screen crosshair? I don't think it is, but heck. So we're gonna just go down. I haven't played this in forever. So as you guys can see, the hip fire crosshair, I mean, it definitely helps that. If you just need on-screen, or if you're doing a hip fire build in general, where you're just kind of fucking running and gunning. It's there. Let's try with a pistol. The pistol, you know, in my opinion, the best ones to do it with are the semi-autos, or like the rapid fire anythings, just because of the accuracy involved into them. But overall, you know, if I had to rate the monitor 5 out of a 5 or out of a 10, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5, and that's a low 4, maybe a 3.5 out of 5. That's my guy, my bad, my guy. Out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10, just to give you an idea. I mean, like I said, graphically, it's not too bad. Curve's nice. Fingerprints do show up extremely easily when it's black. Even now I can see the fingerprint a little bit there. It's not really a highly reflective screen or anything along that line, but the fingerprints will show up, so that's something else to keep in mind. Response time, everything else is good. If you're looking for a good, quick, responsive monitor for shooters, and you only have, you know, so much that you're trying to do, like I said, I tend to back and forth between PC and PS4 and whatever else I have hooked up at the time. So, you know, for me, I blew up. But for me, this is the biggest downfall to it out of everything else, is not being able to readily switch back and forth without having to turn off the PS4. Now, I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to leave this sit here. I'm going to straighten this out, and I'll do a little bit of more close-up with this. Hopefully you guys can see everything. But, if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that that I may be able to answer, just shoot me a message or leave a comment down below. If you could, like, comment, share, and subscribe, obviously, if this helps you out at all. But, you know, just to kind of give you an idea, here's a little more of a close-up on the gun. You know, I don't know how well the GoPro's going to pick it up, but there is some pixelation there. It's not largely noticeable, especially if you're sitting back at a normal distance. I don't have any issues with it. But overall, I think it was worth the money. Like I said, guys, any questions, just leave them down below. I'll answer them the best I can. Thank you for watching.